So at the start of day 2, legs was freaking epic yesterday and I'm feeling it today. So I am definitely going to be doing some foam rolling and just stretching out my quads in particular, because my legs are like in serious like FU status right now. But it got me onto thinking about all the latest research on the fact that ice therapy and doing ice baths and cryotherapy after gym actually limits hypertrophy, because it stops the inflammation of the muscle. And of course you want the inflammation of the muscle to help with fascia growing and all of that. I don't know the science behind it, but I just know that ice is not good for hypertrophy. So if you are currently doing like cold showers or anything like that after gym, don't do it. Just like, taking anti-inflammatory pills like Panado and that sort of thing in the evening after gym will limit your gains. So make sure you don't do that either. But anyway, I was thinking about that, and that led me on to thinking, I wonder if you're living in a colder environment, it actually limits your gains. Because if you think about it, so you finish working out, and then you go outside and it's freaking cold. So what happens then? Because obviously it's not like you're stepping into an ice chamber or a freaking bath, but you're still cold. So I actually wonder if you would make more gains if you're in a warmer environment. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the top elite IFBB pros and whatnot go and train in Dubai. And maybe there's actually more to it than just being surrounded by the top professionals. Maybe it is like the heat and whatnot allows for maximum hypertrophy rather than being in a colder environment. I don't know, it's just like a random thought that I was thinking, and I was like, I wonder if the cold actually limits gains. Could be completely wrong here. Maybe it's not cold enough to affect hypertrophy, but maybe just as like a side step, or maybe if you're really trying to maximize your gains, make sure that you keep yourself as warm as possible. So if you're in a colder environment, just make sure that you're really padded and thick and warm, so if you are going out into the cold after a kick-ass workout, you're keeping yourself as warm as possible so that you can maximize the inflammation of the muscle area and the tissue and all the work that you've just put in to maximize gains. I mean, it probably is so negligible that it doesn't matter, but you can't just move to Dubai because it's warm there to maximize your gains. But it was just like this random thought I had in my head, and I was like, I wonder if that does affect your hypertrophy. Anyway, so today is one of my favorite muscle groups to work. It is back day. Yeah. So we're gonna go nice heavy. We're gonna kick ass. I'm gonna be doing like yesterday, where I went all out and I didn't really focus on drop sets or anything like that. That is what I'm gonna be doing today. So today it's all heavy back, but then I'm gonna be doing light chest with it. So it's gonna be heavy back, light chest, and then next week we're gonna do the reverse. So we're gonna do light back, heavy chest. Even though, yes, the strength movements will still be the same, so regardless, we're still benching and we're still doing back pull-ups, We're still doing pull-ups, which is back, and those two movements are obviously heavy. But because it's more of a strength movement and not the hypertrophy element there, I kind of treat them separately, and we're going to be doing both. But yeah, so that is what is going through my head at the moment. So if you're interested in that kind of approach, and just seeing how I work through my workouts, because as I said, like, I incorporate a lot of different training styles, and if the one person commented and said, I've been training for years, but I find your workouts very advanced, and that's because myself and my husband, we have experimented with every different kind of training philosophy under the sun, MI40X, MI40, FST7, We've tried every single thing underneath the sun to see which works, and obviously it takes a lot of time to kind of see which one works and how effectively. So I've kind of taken elements from here and there and there and there and amalgamated them in all into my own training style because I freaking love it. And I'm actually thinking of writing up a few kind of like once-off training programs, and then just, you know, selling it as like a once-off 12-week program. So if you're interested, let me know. It will obviously take me quite a bit of time because I like to give detailed instructions about everything when I do write up programs. But or you can just watch here because you'll learn a lot about my range of motion and my technique and my form and how I approach and think about every single exercise. So today, that is the goal. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna kick some ass, we're gonna lift some heavy ass fucking weight, and then we're gonna do some solid back exercises, focusing on thickening the back, really hitting every single element of the back. The back is a big muscle, and that's why I love training it, because you can do so many different exercises to really target it and hone in and keep warm, because, you know, just like thinking about the fact that ice and cold limits hypertrophy, I'm like, yeah, I really need to keep warm. It probably doesn't, as I say, it's probably so negligible in terms of the output and the actual effectiveness of your hypertrophy, but who knows? It's just like this random thought I had. And yeah, who knows? Maybe some scientist out there will listen to me and go, oh, that's something to test. Some scientist who's really smart compared to me. Listening to me ramble on. Anyway, so I have had my greens. So I have my greens every single morning. I'll actually show you because I've got a packet. So I actually use greens powder. Whether it works or not, it's more for macros. Just making sure that I get in enough macros. If you are one of those people who just doesn't eat vegetables, please make sure that you're having some form of greens. And I also do the berries. Even though I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables, I still have greens and berries in the morning, just for added macros, just for gut health, because remember, your gut is so important for overall function. And I remember when I was in bodybuilding days, and a lot of females in particular, they don't eat a lot, and then what happens, you get gas, you get IBS, you get all these other side effects, and you know, the last thing you want is to have gastritis or some gastrointestinal issues. And it's so common in the female bodybuilding industry, not so much in the men, because the men tend to eat more, but the women are kind of like limited to so much less in terms of like calories. I mean, I remember when I was at my harshest point of my cut, I was like at 800 to 1,000 calories, which I don't recommend. I would recommend doing a slower cut. But it really does affect your gut, and then you end up, you know, like not going to the bathroom for days, and you end up constipated, and you end up with gas and just issues upon issues. So please make sure that you take your greens in, and I take my greens with creatine and lemon juice and apple cider vinegar, and I just stir them all together and I slosh it down, and I do it in about 500 to 600 mils of water. So I'm getting in plenty of fluids, and I do recommend make sure that, especially if you're training first in the morning, you get in plenty of fluids before you train, so that you're as hydrated and your muscles are as hydrated as possible. Remember, your body is like 70% water, so you need to make sure that your muscles are hydrated, especially if gains are on the card, and that's what your main focus is. Make sure that you're hydrated, make sure that you've got salt in your water, make sure that you've got electrolytes, and we are going to kick some ass today. So I'm going to eat my eggs. Yes, it's the same thing every single day. And the sad thing is, I love my meals. I can't decide whether my baked oatmeal or my eggs post-gym is my favorite meal of the day, but I do think it's probably the eggs, which is funny. I'll tell you a story. Eggs, as a child, I refused to eat. My mom couldn't hide them in anything. Literally, I wouldn't eat meringues. If she made carbonara, I refused to eat it. If there was eggs in anything. I literally could taste it and I could smell it, and I refused. And that's funny because at the peak of my bodybuilding, when I was vegetarian, I know, I was vegetarian because according to, you know, the pyramid and whatnot, red meat was bad for you. So I limited my red meat, which I don't recommend because red meat is actually extremely good for you. But at one point in my early bodybuilding days, I went vegetarian. And at that point, and the vegetarians are probably gonna like chastise me now, I'd have 30 eggs a day. I know. I was eating up to 30 eggs a day, which is probably completely juxtaposition to the whole theory behind being vegetarian. But I wasn't vegetarian for certain purposes. I was just vegetarian because it was by default. It just happened that way. And to this day, I still freaking love eggs, which is, you know, kind of ironic considering as a child I refused to eat them. The same with peanut butter. I hated peanut butter as a child and now I love it. Love the stuff. So I'm gonna get ready for gym. We're gonna kick ass. It's gonna be a nice solid freaking back day. We want those wings so we can fly away. Let's go. Okay, so we're back. So I've done bench and I didn't film it. Well, I did film it and I put it obviously with chatting earlier on. But I didn't go through the movements because I had done that before. And I felt I don't want to be too repetitive with my videos. I'd rather kind of like go through specific elements every single time and give you my thoughts on different parts of my workouts and emphasize certain parts. So obviously with bench, I did 4 sets of 4. And that ended up being 5 sets of 4 because don't do this. Don't be this person. Like I asked for a lift off with my 1 set, because the bench is like awkward. Like it's either too high. There are only 2 things. So the bars are either too high for me to lift off or too low. So I put in too much effort just lifting it off the rack. So obviously I asked for a spotter literally just to lift me off. And it's one of those, like, you can't be angry because you're asking for help. So therefore they're helping you. But at the same time, it's like, don't fucking help me. And the guy, like, I asked him to lift me off. Sweet. And then every single time I pulled the weight off, pushed the weight up, he assisted me. And I was like, dude, don't do that. Don't fucking do that because now I've got to do another set because you helped me. And it's like, I can't get angry because he offered to assist me. Even though I said, just help me with the lift off and then leave me alone. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay. So, but it actually worked out in my favor because I had decided to do 97.5. And after his set, I was like, you know what? Actually, let me just go for 100. And 100 for 4 felt really good. So then I ended up doing 2 sets on 100, which was like nice. I was so happy with that because my goal is 100 for 5. So the fact that I could do 2 sets at 100 for 4, like, rocked my world. So I was so freaking happy with that. So then I went on to do 4 sets of 4 with the weighted pull-ups. They were grinders. They were serious grinders. The 4th set, I barely managed to get my head over the bar. So that's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. But now we get into the meaty part. So we've done the strength. So that's over and done with. And now we're just going for pump, maximum gains, maximum strength. We are wanting to blow up our back as much as we possibly can. So first off is pull-ups. Now, if you cannot do pull-ups, you can do this. It's a pull-up machine. You could also do lat pull-downs with a drop set. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do weighted high pulls. So as high as you possibly can. And then when I can't do pull-ups anymore, I'm going to drop the weight and I'm going to do as many free weight high pulls into pull-ups as I possibly can. So it's really going to emphasize the lats because we're going overhand grip.
So we'll see how this goes on. I'm quite excited. I just decided on this concoction today. So I've never actually done this particular kind of drop set where I'm focusing on high pulls as opposed to just pull-ups. So it's gonna be fun because I find the high pulls really target the lats more than just pull-ups. And I'm doing more of a suicide grip rather than having my thumb around. We'll see. I might change my mind, but I'm going to see how it feels and kind of see which one really focuses on the lats more.
Can I still do this?
Yeah, no, all yours. This is the worst part of the workout, is putting my weight belt on, which I then have to take off for the drop set. Right, okay. So first off, one thing I notice, I like to squeeze the weight plate between my thighs just to stop it. Because if you're having to stabilize a swing plate on top of pull yourself out, it really does make it harder. And yeah, we want to make it hard, but we want to make it hard so that the lats work, not like so that everything else is having to stabilize. So let's see how this goes. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'm putting my thumbs around for extra stabilization, whatever the fuck. Right. Okay. Okay. Okay, now drop the weight. Probably gonna get a thing here. Right, okay. So as many without the weight as you possibly can. Again, I'm keeping my thumbs around. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that hit the lats like crazy. That was nice. So, find pull-ups like they're a hard movement, like squats. They're a hard movement because you obviously you can kip, you can cheat, but it's not like lat pull downs. Again, it's because like with lat pull downs, you're just having to pull. But with pull-ups, you're having to stabilize, you're having to work multiple muscles. They're harder mentally, and so, and yes, they're hard because you're having to pull up your entire body weight. And in this case, additional weight on top of it. But it's just that mental battle because lat pull downs, you're just going through the motion. You're pulling. Yes, you manipulate it. You're doing as many different things. But pull-ups are fucking mentally hard. They're grinders, you know? So, couple things. If you can't do pull-ups, do an assisted machine, okay? And do it as hard as possible. Even if you're just doing like 3 reps on like a weight that is really, really difficult, and then you drop it to an easier weight on the assisted pull-up machine. If you can do some pull-ups, do as many as you possibly can, and then drop to either an elastic band, okay? Or you can do jumping negatives. So jumping negatives being where you jump to the top, and you try to control the downward descent, and do as many until you literally can't control the downward descent. So that is an excellent alternative. So if you are to the point where you can just do a few pull-ups, do as many pull-ups and then do jumping negatives or elastic bands until you can't do them anymore. If you can't do, obviously, pull-ups altogether, use an assisted pull-up machine. If you don't have an assisted pull-up machine, the next best thing is the lat pull-down machine. But I would highly, highly recommend try for pull-ups because they're hard. And it's one of those things, like, people don't want to do things that are hard, but the reward when you get them, fuck, it's like nothing else. Like, it's fucking awesome mentally, physically. And for me, it's about not just getting stronger physically. It's about like beating fears and showing yourself that you can fucking do it, you know, because that's what's so amazing about bodybuilding or physical things, is like having that self-doubt, thinking you can't and then proving yourself wrong. Because that's what life's all about, is getting stronger physically, mentally. And if this scares you, if you think you can't do it, then that should be a fucking goal for this year, and make it a goal. Because this year is about kicking ass, smashing goals, and doing things that you never thought you could do and proving yourself wrong. So I'm going to do, before I cut, I'm going to do 2 more sets of this, okay? And then we're going to move on to some more just like isolation back exercises where we're not having to stabilize as much and it's just about blood flow and everything else. But I'm going to do 2 more sets here and then I'll catch you on the flip side for the next exercise. All right. So we're going to do some heavy ass fucking bent over rows. Now I forgot my grips again, which is not ideal because I know my grip is going to fail before my back does. So I'm just going to have to see how, get pads on, that chalk. But yeah, I would highly recommend making sure that you pack everything. Keeping it in your bag. And because with back, it is one of those things, your grip is going to fail before your back does, especially if you're doing a lot of grip work, pull-ups, etc., etc. So with this, okay, you want to stay bent over. And we are gonna do as many strict as we possibly can. Remember, the goal is strict until you can't, and then you can cheat. Know the rules, and then you know how to break them. Okay, so we are gonna go as heavy as we possibly can. The goal is starting at about 12, but dropping down to about 6 to 8 reps by the last 3 sets. We're gonna go for 4 to 6 sets again. We're feeling it out. I'm not too sure how many sets I'm going to go. I'm going to go on feel how the back is feeling. I'm going with quite a wide grip with this one. I really want to focus on, contracting the back, squeezing the lats, squeezing everything nice and tight, getting it nice and high with control, because I don't want to swing that shit up and then it only start to activate my muscles on the way down. I want to feel that the bar against my chest, or against my sternum with my muscles, okay? Because I feel like I can get such a nice squeeze when that bar is right against my sternum, and then control that negative. So it's just like as much muscle activation in the back. The back is such a big fucking muscle. You want to use as much muscle contraction as possible. So yeah. Stretch it out at the bottom. Remember, squeeze, stretch it out. Stretch it out at the bottom. Squeeze. Right. Chin tuck. Control. Oh, fuck. I think I need more salt in my water. I started getting a cramp on my back there. Oh. So you know that you need more electrolytes if you start cramping. So cramping, that was not nice. Cramping can be a result of magnesium. If you're low on magnesium, potassium, or sodium. So something's a bit low for me to be cramping. Oh, fuck. And I've had plenty of water today, so... okay. Right, so that was a solid set. Minus the cramp, it was fucking pump, 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 pump. So that is the goal, okay? We're gonna do probably four sets, I think. One nice and high, control the negative. Remember that you want full stretch out at the bottom, re-engage your lats, pull again. If you need to do it in two movements. So what you can do, okay, if you need to, stretch out your back, then contract your lats, then pull rather than doing it in one movement, okay? But it's really so beneficial in terms of growth to get that full stretch. So make sure, like your core is tight, but get that full stretch, contract, pull, and then slow negative. We want that fucking negative. Keep it going. Your negative is going to fail after, so that's why we're swinging, okay? We're going to do 3 more sets. Right. Oh, okay. Felt good. Right, so, and remember, chest out. Okay, you don't want to be doing this kind of motion where you're using your traps. We're not doing shrugs, we're using our back, okay? Yeah. Which, okay, to be fair, traps is part of your back. Traps run down your back. So you will be using some traps, but I don't want a shrugging movement. I want a lat engaged movement. Right. So set 2 of 4. And make sure you keep it 4 nice and tight. Okay? You want to go as heavy as you possibly can whilst keeping that control. If you cannot control the negative, it's gone too heavy. Okay? It's not about how much weight you can lift, it's how you're lifting it. Right. Mm. Mm. One more, come on. Yeah, fucking solid. Didn't cramp at least, that one at least. Okay. So, ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna rest and do 2 more sets and then on to the next chest exercise. I think we're gonna do probably 2 more chest exercises. Not chest, back. Probably gonna do another 2 back exercises if I can. Machines are packed again today, so I'll see how it goes. And then some really like lightweight chest exercise. Might even just do 1 chest exercise because obviously we've already done bench. So I might just do some flies and call it there. But I'll catch you on the next back exercise. Right. Okay, so we have done wide grip lat pull downs in the reverse form of pull-ups. We have done bent over rows. So we've activated the muscles in a wide grip and again in a wide grip. So now we're going to do a narrow grip, and I'm hoping to do, so this is like shoulder width grip. And then I'm hoping to do also a really narrow grip as well. Again, depends on what equipment's available, because this gym is absolutely packed. So we'll just see how it goes and roll it from there. I'm going to do exactly the same as I just did for bent rows. And I'm going to go as fucking heavy as I possibly can, control it, stretch out, and then contract, and then go for as many reps as I possibly can. Grind them out before going into cheating kind of negatives, using momentum. If you've got a partner, even better, because that partner can help force the weight to you, and then you can control the negative. Like, that would be ideal, but you know, I'm training alone. So in that case, I'm going to cheat myself by using my leg drive to get that weight to my chest and then control the negative. This is my first working set, so I don't know what weight I'm at. So depending on what weight it is, I might go heavier, I might stay the same. Your guess is as good as mine. We're about to find out. So, let's see if I stay in frame. Yeah, I think I'll go one heavier. Right, see how this goes. Yeah, that's solid. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that felt good. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier. Little bit heavier, just 1 heavier. And I'm gonna do 3 more sets. Exactly the same. So control that negative, full stretch out, okay? And then re-engage the lat all the way to the chest, okay? And then slow release. Really focus on the back, okay? We may be going heavier, but this is still mind-muscle connection. This is all about feeling it in your back and contracting every single fiber of your back as much as you possibly can, okay? We're going for back thickness for that density. You know, because like, if you ever enter a bodybuilding competition, it's one from the back, okay? It is fucking one from the back. Your glutes, your back, your lats, all of that thickness matters. So make sure every single rep counts. You want to grow that back. So I'm going to do 3 more sets. I'm going to go a little bit heavier. Yeah, but felt good, felt good. Let's see. Oh, got the chalk up. I really wish I had brought my straps with. Not ideal. Missed opportunity here. And one thing I will say is like, you'll have bad training sessions. They'll have good training sessions. It's not about one ripper of a training session and then you don't train for 3 weeks. It's about consistency. You will have good days. You'll have bad days. You'll have mediocre training sessions. Not every single training session is going to be amazing, and that's okay. That is to be expected. The most important thing is that you still show up. Bodybuilding is one because it's consistency. It's about discipline. It's about creating routines that you can sustain. Even if you train at home, it doesn't matter. Like for the first year of my bodybuilding career, I literally trained at home using body weight and elastic bands. And I still fucking won multiple competitions. Yes, I was in bikini. But point is not about having the fanciest equipment. It's about fucking showing up and giving 100%. Even if your 100% is like 60% because you're tired or, like you just don't have the energy or the mental capacity to really focus. It's not about being, a superstar every single session, because not every single session is going to be your best, but you're fucking showing up and you're giving it everything you possibly can. Okay. I've been training for 10 years. It takes time. You're not going to miraculously look like Dorian Yates overnight. Okay. So consistency is way more important than one great session and then you don't train for 3 weeks, All right. Oh, I was going to go heavier, wasn't I? Right. Let's go. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Fuck yes. Okay, 2 more sets. 2 more sets, and then we'll move on. So far, the pump is sensational. So I saved the best for last. This is probably one of my all-time favorite back exercises, the grip pull downs. So I just feel like they activate the entire center of the back. So this will obviously activate traps because the traps run down the center of your back. And it's like a rhomboid trap kind of area. Obviously, yes, lats and everything else is getting both, but it's just nothing beats it. So again, exactly the same, same process, 4 sets to failure every single set. We're going to do force negatives at the end. Wish I had my grips, but it's fine. We're going to smash it out, really get that back pump, finish it off, and then we'll just do one chest exercise. That's all I'm going to do. I'm literally just going to do like a blood pumper into the chest and call it there. Probably just like 100 reps, annihilation of the chest, and then we call it, because like my back is fried at this point and I'm loving the pump. So, 3 to 4 sets on this max, and then we're gonna end strong. So, nice and heavy. Remember that stretch. Fuck. Ooh. I didn't get as many reps as I wanted out of that one. So I think I might actually go a little lighter. Let's get a few more reps. Like, it was good, but because of my grip, like, I started feeling like fucking grip went before my back did. Frustrating. Lesson learned. Say that. Forgot my grips yesterday as well. So I'm going to do one more set lighter and then one more set after that. And then I'm going to do, I'm just going to do like 100 rep pump into my chest, call it there. And we're going to finish strong, refeed, get my yoga in, cycle home, and then get on with the day. So let's do another set, a little bit lighter, get a few more reps in this time around. There's actually fucking nothing left in my back. I'm calling it there. My back is done. Done. Like fried. Best way to end a workout. Have nothing left in the tank. Okay. I'm going to do like a chest blaster, 100 reps. I'm just going to do flies, like really lightweight, literally 100 reps. So I'm going to do like 20, rest as little as possible, 20 more, rest as little as possible, 20 more, and like literally call it there. My back is fried. I can feel, and this is one thing to take note of. So the moment my back went, literally my biceps took over. And that's not what you want. You do not want secondary muscles. You don't want to get a pump in other muscles because the goal's the back. You know, like, yes, you will use secondary muscles, your triceps, your biceps, your lats. But the moment you actually feel like, okay, I've actually got a pump in my bicep, like I've got a massive, like my biceps are on fire. And that's because my back went and my biceps took over. So it shows you like I had nothing left in the tank, nothing left in my back to give. Man, my biceps are small in compared to my back. So that shows you, I had nothing left in my back. My biceps took over to finish those reps. So the moment that happens, like if you've done way less and you find all your other muscles are starting to like take over, you know you've done enough. You've done more than enough. Stop. Because then you're no longer working the muscle group you came in to work. You're working every other muscle group. Every other muscle group is taking over. You can't isolate the back. And that's just what happened there. Like my back was like, fuck you, I'm done. We've done enough. Stop. So yeah, note for you, for, you know, if you're training and that happens. So we're done. We're done. Chest pump, 100 reps. Let's call it there. Let's go. Right. So really lightweight. I've already done 40 reps. So we've got another 60 to go, and I'm only doing half reps. Okay. So I'm not extending all the way out. I'm keeping it in tension the entire time. And we're just going to keep on going. Let's go. Shit. Lost count. Fuck it. I'll go to failure 2 more times. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Right, I'm done. I'm done and done and done and done. So, I hope you're having an amazing morning, evening, night, whatever the time of day is. Just a reminder, you are awesome. Kick ass. Keep going. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself and just stay consistent, because that's how you get results. Not about one kick-ass day. It's about continuous repetition, and you will get there. Keep going, keep going, keep going.